Right, like you, one day I would love a seven-figure portfolio, millions of pounds, because let's face it, with the pension crisis the way it is, you're gonna need it. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how to put your first lump sum payment to work. Now, it could have come from a family member, a bonus from work, or maybe you sold a car or something like that. But this video works really for anyone who's got a lump sum of like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever it is. This video is for you. And I'm guessing if you've come to this video, you want some assistance on how best to invest it and put it to work. That's smart thinking, and I'm glad you're here. Now, before we get into it, I want a quick check because this video is not for everyone. Now, first of all, have you cleared expensive debt? I'm talking about credit cards, loans, high interest car payments, Klarna, white goods, things like that. Literally anything above 5% I would consider high interest. And do you have an emergency savings pot? Do you have a pot of money put aside for an emergency in case something like your washing machine or your car breaks? If you've answered yes for those things, then brilliant, because you are ahead of most people. In fact, this video is not for you. What I have made for you already is my beginner's portfolio on how to invest your first £1,000 or any lump sum you have. It is a set and forget portfolio. It's gathering a lot of traction on YouTube now. And you can watch that video in this corner by clicking the link up here right now. If you haven't cleared high interest debt or set yourself an emergency fund, then stay here, because this video is 100% for you. Because those are the things you need to clear before a single penny goes into the stock market. And I know you don't want to hear this, but a lot of the good information we don't really want to hear. A lot of the things that we want to do, we don't really want to. But if you want to turn £1,000 or £100 into a seven-figure portfolio, you genuinely can with the right tools, the right mindset, and the right behaviors, and the right intentions. But you've got to do some things first. You've got to do some things that you're not going to want to. Because let's face it, in life, nothing worth having comes easy. Now, if I'm going to help you turn your grand into a £1 million portfolio, we're going to start laying the first bricks today. Let's get into it. I've already touched on number one, because killing expensive debt, and I mean any debt that has an interest rate of above 5%, that's considered expensive. The reason why is high interest debt is usually over and above the interest rate you're going to get back on savings and investments. So high interest debt can be as high as 23%, payday loans have been up to 50%, car payments any between 8 and 12%. So all that debt you've got has got interest built on top of those things. If you're investing money and your return rate's going to be somewhere between, conservatively 7 to 10%, your debt interest is always outpacing your investment interest. You're literally never going to get your head above water because you're spending more than you're actually earning. Your outgoings are much higher than your incomings. Now, if you got 100 grand, then yeah, sure, the compounding interest on £100,000 is going to outweigh small number of debts, comparatively speaking. But if you got 100 grand in your investment account, you're probably not watching this video. I'm guessing that you've got your first £1,000 or your first bit of savings, and you need some ideas, some validation that investing in the S&P 500 or an all-world tracker is the right thing to do, and you're doing that research. So you're onto a good thing, so stick at it. Because one day you will have £100,000. You keep doing the same things over and over again, you're gonna get to that. But not if you have high interest debt. And trust me guys, speaking from experience, I remember when I got my first dividend from a company I used to own, I got £25,000, but I had 12 grand on a credit card. But I had 12 grand on a loan. It really hurt to take that lump sum and pay off that debt, because I felt that debt was free money. That was the mindset I had, like this free money, but it was on 29% interest. Of that £330 a month I was paying, half of it, almost half, was going on interest payments. It doesn't seem real at the time because you're just sort of paying the money out and you're in this kind of weird state of just paying the money down every month and not really thinking about it. You don't want to face the reality of where you're at, because I'd never had that kind of cash in my hand at any point in my life. It felt really surreal. But I did the right thing because I'd learned the hard way. I had high interest debt before. I paid that debt off. But do you know what? It felt like winning the lottery. Once I cleared that debt, I had such a sense of freedom that I hadn't felt in years. The irony, I was probably quite poor at the time, but because I had no debt, it felt like a real flex. I could tell people I'm debt free and it felt good. Hang on, I like this. I want to get more income. I want to be clear of debt. In fact, I want to turn it around. I want to flip it. I want to start investing now, making more money. If you treat your lump sum cash like a Rolex or a flash car or something, you start to look at money very differently. You start to protect that, and you don't want to wear it down. You don't want to scratch your fancy new car. You don't want to scratch your fancy new Rolex. But the point I'm making is that cash is such a positive, rich asset, and you can do so much. You can really make that cash work for you and change your life completely. Number two, the boring one, build the buffer. If you've invested some money and the market's having a down day or a down month or a down year, because that can happen, you do not want to be in a position where you're selling that money to buy a washing machine or fix the turbos on your car or pay for a holiday, something like that. You certainly don't want to be using that cash on a depreciating asset like a car or something like a holiday, which is nice, but ultimately it comes and it goes and it's gone. And then you're left poor at the end. You want to keep that cash invested, working hard. Yes, it may have gone down, but you know through historical patterns and how the stock markets work, how stocks and shares, indexes and ETFs work, you know that money will go up eventually. The worst thing you can do is sell on a red day, on a red candle day, on a day that it's down, because you can't make that money back and you've lost money at that point. The best thing you could probably do is go and get more money, go and earn more money, ask for a pay rise, sell some stuff. I guarantee you we've all got stuff we don't need. Get on Vinted, sell 1,000 items at £10 profit each, boom, 10 grand. Might take you 10 years, but still £10,000. Profit is profit. Anyway, this one's probably gonna turn a lot of people off, and I get it because it sounds quite boring, but your pension, guys, everyone's gonna need one. Everyone's gonna need a pension one day, and the way things are going, the government ain't gonna give you one. It's gonna be means tested. Getting a state pension, however small it is not gonna be enough to live on. I guarantee you, your employer will match your pension contributions. That is tax-free money for you for a later date. It's the kind of money that you 40 years down the road will thank you for today. It's a real delayed gratification. It feels like you're not really buying anything. You know, you go to the shop, or you go to the pub, you buy a pint, you get a pint, you go for a meal, you get a meal, go and buy some trainers, you get them. Putting money into your pension is a bit like, meh. Where's it gone? It's gone to you 40 years down the line. And not only that, it's compounded as well. Every 10 quid you give yourself 40 years from now, it's probably gonna be worth 4 times that. Next up, we've talked about the high interest debt. If you've got middling debt, and I mean debt that is normalized, right? Car payments, any car payments or bike payments or things like that, things over 100 quid that are decent interest or low interest, but still they're eating into your income, they're eating into your capital. And the reason I say this, guys, is because once you've got a lump sum of cash there, you treat it like a very special thing, a very precious thing, right? Like it's like you've got the new iPhone. Like I said before, you treat it like a new car or a brand new luxury watch. You want to look after it and take care of it. But you also learn how important it is. And then once you start building money and getting your money to work for you, you start to get a bit more thrifty. And that's really what I'm trying to get at here, is being a little bit more thrifty. If you've got a brand new car, great, you know, maybe downgrade, get something 4 years old, 7 years old. So it's not going to cost the earth, but will do the job. Because let me tell you, being rich is a lot better than looking rich. And that comes truer over time as you get closer to retirement age, closer to marriage, closer to kids, when you need that money. When you've got 3 kids to feed and no money coming in, no one cares about how you looked in your 20s. Those days are over. Being rich, not looking rich. That's the key takeaway. Only once you've done those things can you start to invest. But the irony is, if you've gone through those things, you've cleared that debt, you've taken your lump sum, you've cleared your high interest debt, you've put your emergency fund away, the likelihood is you've probably got no money, right? But let me tell you something that no one else is going to tell you. Everyone starts with nothing. If you had a lump sum, great, you got to step up in life, you got a head start. But everyone investing starts with nothing. When you look at people's portfolio graphs and they show you these lovely 3 figures, and don't buy into that rubbish, by the way, guys, not everyone's starting off with 3 figures. But when you look at those portfolio charts, they all start in the same place. Bottom left-hand corner on a big fat 0. We all start with nothing. I started with nothing. You have to start with nothing. Then you put a bit in, a little bit more. It takes time. This is the story for everyone. This is everyone's narrative. Don't get fooled. Don't get it twisted. People on social media telling you they're rich, looking rich, not being rich. Everyone starts in the same place, even you. Then, once you start with your £10, your £100, your £20, after all that's done, you open up a stocks and shares ISA. We've got a link below to our website where we reviewed all the latest apps with the best bonuses. You can get free shares, free money, all that sort of stuff. Go in there, choose one you like, choose one that's easy to use, and start investing today. It needs to be a stocks and shares ISA, and the reason why is a stocks and shares ISA is the best gift the UK government has ever given us. Basically, all your gains, all your profits are sheltered from UK tax. That means when the value of your investments, your pot of money goes up, you pay no tax. You don't even have to tell HMRC. Literally, guys, it's the best thing the UK government have ever given us. And guess what? Only 1 in 5 people use it. So you're in a real VIP club there. You're taking some responsibility and accountability about your financial future. Because let's face it, for a lot of people, their financial future is absolutely but not yours. Not today. So let's get back to the original question. You got yourself a lump sum. What should you do with it, right? You got a 2 grand lump sum. You got a 2 grand credit card bill. What should you do? Easy. Pay off that high interest credit card. Start from scratch. build from there. Build that freedom, build that financial independence, build that nest egg, build the dream home in Portugal, Spain, whatever, Thailand, build that retirement. Whatever it is you're working for, start building that today. But you need to do these uncomfortable things first before you start making real money and wealth. I know because I've done it too. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying take a couple lifestyle chips off the table, treat yourself to something nice, but not too much. If you get £1,000 left by your dear old nan or granddad, great. Put 200 aside for something nice. Go out for a nice meal, 800 quid, start clearing that debt, start making your way in the world. Next video drops in a few days' time. Hit like, hit subscribe. Head over to our Finboard community. Again, link is below, where you're going to meet and speak to real world investors, people just like you, just starting out in the world, finding their feet a bit, ask them questions, find out what's working for them, get some tips and advice from people who've been in your shoes right now and see how they've made it and turned their lives around. Until next time.